Today I'm going to show you how to build this poo tracker on Notion. Basically, there is a graph that shows you how many times you've pooped. And all you have to do is click this button. It records your poop. When you're done pooping, open up this page and click done. And it automatically adjusts the end date and time. And there is a poo duration formula. This is how I analyze my poo quality and category by day of the week and month to spot trends in my pooping habits and my life. Now I'm going to build this out with you, and then I can give you the template, but just in case you want to know how it works. So the first thing I did was create a database, and this would be like example template. Now, if you look here at this database, there are many different fields. Let's make a template here. This is going to be the poo one. But you can make the same thing for a cry count or how many cups of water that you drank. Now, the first property is going to be the date. Usually for the date, I put the date and the time because I want to know what time of day I poop most often. So the other thing is also add another date field and call this end date. You can just add whatever you feel like, but for poo specifically, there's poo vibe. So let me add a property, and the poo vibe property is just a multi-select because one poo can have multiple vibes. So poo vibe, and I put the underscore there because sometimes if I export this entire database as a CSV file for my Excel spreadsheet data analysis, then when you use SQL, it doesn't take into account the space. Oh wait, I'm just realizing I should put end date with the -2. Now, the next thing that you can add is the Bristol stool scale, which is a single select. Bristol stool. And you just add in all the options. So like poo vibe, if you want to put painful, you can. And then when it's time to record it, you can just select whatever. And Bristol stool scale, it's just this scale where it's like, what is the texture of the poop, how hard and soft it is. And okay, so you can just add whatever options you want there. When we're editing a template in Notion, what you can do is you can make it so that the default is something. So every time you click on this poo button, it'll show up with normal poo. And then you go in and edit it if it's not normal. But most of the time, if it's normal, then you just leave it at that as the default. Now, the next thing is you want to add a formula. So this would be poo duration. For the formula, this is what it looks like. So if the name of this page is poo, because you're recording a poo, then find the date in between the end date and the start date in minutes. So usually, if it's a 1 minute difference, they'll put 1. So let me copy paste this formula over. So right now it's empty because none of the dates are filled out. But if you put the date you want to do now, which includes the date and time, and then the end date, you want to create a button for, because you want to click the button and then it edits the end date to be the current time. So this will be the poo button, done. So you want to click this button when you're done. And when the button is clicked, you want to edit the current page. So put edit current page and then edit a property. Edit the end date to be time triggered. Done. Now you want to create the other button. So this button is gonna, when you click on it, it's gonna create that new page with that template that we just made. Hopefully this makes sense. So new action, you want to add a new poop page, because when you add the page, what's going to happen is that all these poo entries are going to be like, if you poop multiple times a day, it's going to add another entry, and at the end it kind of just like totals because the date is the same. So here you can see January 1st I pooped 2 times, and there's just like much here that you could do. But let me go back to the tutorial. So you want to add page to the database that you just made. So mine is called example, and you want to add the poo template that we just made and click done. So now when I click this button, it makes a poo template based on this template that we just made. And you can see it auto-filled it as painful because that was the default setting that we set it as. You can even add like ratings out of 10 if you want. Now it's going to automatically open this, And you can see the time that I created this was, well, it's 12:02 p.m. right now. But let's say you are on the toilet for a little bit, or maybe your poop is really fast, then you're done before like 5 minutes passes. So you click this button, done. Usually I bring my phone with me to the washroom. And there's another section of this tutorial on automations for your phone, so I'll get to that soon. But you click done, and you can see it updates the time to the time that you click this. So if you click done, but then you're like still sitting there on the toilet, and you're like, oh wait, there's more. After you finish that second round, I guess, you can also click done again, and it'll update to the most recent time that you clicked that button. So let me just wait a minute here. Okay, now it's been 1 minute. We click done. You can see it updated, and now the poo duration is 2 minutes. The duration is in minutes because I don't think anyone's spending hours on the toilet unless you're severely constipated. Now that's how I set up the poo count. For my phone, I have a whole different setup. So let me put that tutorial in another section. I'm gonna put the tutorial somewhere here so you can see what I'm talking about. But basically, you know how I track my time 24/7? So like when I'm going to the bathroom, I track it as bathroom time. And I have the time tracking app on my phone, and I usually take my phone with me to the bathroom so I can scroll on Instagram Reels while I'm doing my business. So what happens is usually when I open my time tracking to count bathroom, I have an automation on my iPhone. And what it does is when I open the time tracking app and set it to bathroom, it's gonna ask me, are you pooping right now? And if I say yes, I press that, and then that takes me to the Notion page where I can then click the button to record a poop, and then that opens the page with all the poo details that I can fill in. And then when I'm done, I click the done button, and that kind of helps me update my poo duration on the Notion page. So I don't have to manually scroll through the time and update everything. It works so well because it just takes you to your Notion page, and you can update it immediately while you're on your phone instead of like just trying to remember everything and going to your laptop to update it. And then at the end of the year, you can see the graph of all of your poops, and you can export the Excel spreadsheet with all the data and analyze it to see what the most common poop you have is, or with the most poop month. And there's just so much fun you can have with it. So hopefully you found this helpful. I will leave a template in the description below, so feel free to grab that, and I'll see you in the next video.